they needed to be kind of everyday objects. We didn't have like a chapter on the smartphone because still that felt too much like technology. So it needed to be something that was so ordinary that you don't even think of it as technology in a way anymore. The hummingbird is this funny thing where in evolution, the kind of flowering plants and insects develop this complicated co-evolutionary relationship, symbiotic relationship. And then all of a sudden this bird kind of shows up in the mix and like evolves this capacity to like hover next to plants in a way that no other bird can basically do it. And so the kind of sexual reproduction strategies of flowers, of flowering plants, end up over evolutionary time shaping the design of a hummingbird's wing, which is just kind of a crazy thing. And I realized that in the history of technology that we see this same phenomenon again and again and again, where someone is trying to invent one thing in one field to solve a certain kind of defined problem. And yet, once that invention or that idea gets into circulation, it ends up having all these surprising effects in other fields. Every idea is a network of other ideas on some fundamental level. That every school kid is like, Thomas Edison invented the electric light bulb, but it's just wrong. The fundamental elements that eventually went into Edison's light bulb were actually other people had hit upon. It was just that Edison got the whole system right better than anyone else. One of the things I really wanted to do with this book is to remind people that there are other innovators in our history, in our lives, who solved problems or improved our lives through these inventive solutions, who didn't become famous, didn't become rich. Leal is maybe the ultimate example of that, because here's this guy who figures out that very small doses of chlorine could kill off dangerous bacteria in water without being poisonous to human beings. But he knew that people were going to be freaked out about this idea, like literally putting poison in the drinking water of a city. Like, it doesn't, it's hard to make the pitch for that. So kind of in this slightly nutty way, he just kind of did it. Like, he kind of somewhat secretly built this chlorine distribution system. And in fact, it was a huge success. Almost got him in a lot of trouble, but it was a huge success. And what happened is within 30 years, the introduction of chlorine in the water single-handedly reduced child mortality in half. So that's, if we're going to celebrate innovators, good Lord, like those are the people we should be championing. I love, Apple, and I'll be the first in line to buy an Apple Watch, but like I would much rather have like clean drinking water than an Apple Watch, and so I just think we need to get our kind of priorities straight.